flexing on you like I'm Hulk Hogan. Let's go get some money. They still trying to figure out who I am, who I be. They say money talk, put diamonds in my teeth. I be Louis down with Jordans on my feet. Messed up in your yard like trick or treat. You better play your cards right, you better not ever reach. First train over here, I push you underneath. Yeah, I ripped that 5, but I push you 6 feet.
Yo, what is good, everybody? It is your boy Stacks, your favorite GM is in the building. And of course, we got my guy, Evan. Evan, what is good?
What's up, Stacks? I wish I could have my genuine first reaction to seeing you wearing this right now, but I'm glad the chat gets to see it for the first time. Today, we are talking all about MyNBA and all of the updates in this franchise mode where you can take control of an NBA front office, or perhaps, like Stacks, just be its GM. The MyNBA mode is only on the new gen version of NBA 2K25, so keep in mind during today's show, whenever you hear us say new gen, we mean the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC versions of NBA 2K25. As of our past 2 streams, this is the first place to see everything new coming up this year, so get your friends in here with us as well so that they aren't missing out.
Yes, sir. The road to NBA 2K25 is alive and well, man. We've been having so much fun on this road. We happy that you guys have been on this journey with us. But you already know we also have Twitch drops, man. Twitch drops will be enabled for this stream. You earn a locker code in NBA 2K24 just by watching, okay? So if you're watching on YouTube or if you're watching on Twitter right now, make sure you come over here to Twitch if you want to earn the rewards for the Twitch drops, and Evan will tell you exactly how that's done.
Yes, I will. We got a lot of people in the chat, Stacks, complimenting your outfit today, which is, I love it as well. But the way Twitch Drops works is if you tune in for 90 minutes across our drop-enabled streams of the road to NBA 2K25, you will earn a locker code in NBA 2K24, giving you a pack in my team, 60 skill boosts in my career, and a double XP coin in both of those modes. Now keep in mind, this is 90 minutes across these shows. So if you don't finish your 90 minutes today, we do have another drop-enabled stream coming up later this week for the W, and then another one next week for my team. So you still have a couple chances to get those 90 minutes. There is a full website with instructions at nba.2k.com/twitch-drops, which explains step-by-step how Twitch Drops works, and we will go there again at the end of the show just to make sure you understand how it works in case some of you finish your 90 minutes today. Now, on to MyNBA. I have been loving all of our courtside report videos with our dev team so far. We've had LD and Alexis interviewing Mike Wang for gameplay, Zach and Mark for My Player and My Career, which you can check out all on our official NBA 2K channels in case you missed them, including right here on Twitch after the show. And today we got another courtside report with Jeff from our MyNBA team.
Yes, and as always, we know you're going to have some questions. So make sure you go to our NBA 2K25 questions channel and our official Discord to submit your questions, and maybe one of your questions will be answered there. Make sure you join it. There's the link right there, discord.gg/NBA2K.
Make sure you all stick around though. Also, Stacks, somebody in the chat says you got your Game 7 suit, Stacks LeBron Montana. I like that. I take that as the best compliment you could get, Stacks. But after this video, make sure you stick around because we are going to walk you through the full courtside report blog as well for even more detail that isn't covered in the video. But with that said, Stacks, I think we can run it.
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Welcome back to another NBA 2K25 courtside report. Today, we're breaking down all things new in MyNBA mode. I'm Chris Manning, and I'm joined today by producer Jeff Schrader on the mode, who's going to discuss all these exciting new things with the fans.
One of our favorite features is MyNBA eras. We added it 2K23. We got 4 new eras. Last year we added the LeBron era, and this year for 2K25 we got the Curry era. You can do it yourself. You can join KD, Curry, and the Warriors, or try and top them with LeBron and the Cavs.
I can't wait to jump into the eras. What are some new features that fans could expect?
We've completely revamped how you can expand or contract the league, both in the modern era or even if you go back to any of the past eras. Now you can have any team size from 12 to 36. You can actually completely grow or shrink the league as you like it going from year to year. You're going to be able to customize it to degrees that you've never been able to do before. We took the standard role-playing experience and we just made it so awesome that you can actually go and choose your backstory. For example, maybe you want to be an ex-player. Maybe you want to be a savant that's gifted with spreadsheets, or maybe you're a closer, that you know that your battlefield is the boardroom. From there, you get to choose your attributes. Do you want to be really skilled at helping your players on the court, maybe improving your offense or defense? Or do you want to have charisma off the charts so that you can wheel and deal and get all those picks and trades that you want? Finally, you get to choose your perks, where we have a ton of completely new abilities that will really revamp and change how you play. Now, one thing that we actually think is really cool is player expression. So like, what do you think is the most important thing when you're building a team?
For me, it's getting scores, of course. I got to score the buckets, so I go after the high-scoring players.
We got badges for you. We got a badge that'll improve your outside shooting. We got badges that'll also improve your team depth so that everyone gets a little bit hotter. Maybe you want to pick the X player so that at level 12, you can get a perk. Everyone's on fire in elimination games. Really make sure that you can close them out.
This sounds pretty dynamic. So how can a player grow in the mode using these new features?
Great question. So the old staple for MyGM was that you'd be given tasks. Now that's been transferred to a conversation where, say, you have the team governor. He tells you, hey, I want to swap out all the starters. It's now up to you to decide how you navigate through that conversation. Afterwards, maybe you agree, maybe you don't. You get experience, you level up. When you level up, you get more attribute points to spend and more perks that you can get until eventually you can reach the cap of 20 and you're going to be unstoppable.
Okay, so how do these conversations and interactions take place this year in 2K25?
So eventually when someone has a conversation that they want to have with you, they'll give you a little notification and you actually go inside the MyGM building. It's a free roam environment. Go over, have a conversation, and it really makes it feel like you're in the role-playing experience, that you are the GM.
Last season, the NBA introduced the in-season tournament. I loved watching that. This year, it's being rebranded as the NBA Cup. So what can we expect from the NBA Cup in NBA 2K25?
One of the cool things about the NBA Cup going forward is that it's going to be able to work with schedule generation. Before, it's really awesome, but it's so complex to make. So we would basically just have to take the schedule and freeze it. Now for next year, we're actually going to be able to do a little bit more, generate different schedules as the years go on, be able to change up groups a little bit. So we think it's going to be even more engaging.
That wraps up our NBA 2K25 courtside report. I'm pumped. I know the fans are pumped. Jeff, thanks so much for sharing all the knowledge about this new mode.
You got it. And again, thanks to all the fans. We couldn't do this without them. We put in so much passion and effort just because we know that they're going to love it.
Can't wait to play it. And remember, for all of you out there, this is where your journey begins to building the next great dynasty. Make sure to stay tuned for more NBA 2K25 courtside reports.
Now we all see exactly why I'm dressed as a GM today. I'm ready to get down to work, ready to get down to business, and I'm ready to bring back an NBA franchise. I'm ready to do this thing, man. MyGM looks amazing. I've seen a lot of great reactions in the chat. It looks like you guys are just excited for MyGM as me, the original GM. Yes, sir.
Stacks was so excited he dressed up. But yes, MyGM is back and our team has dialed up the RPG elements in it even more than before. So it's a really fun and awesome experience and we want to take you all through it in this courtside report to make sure you get all the details like the different backstories that Jeff mentioned and the full list of perks, which we'll get to right in a second. But before we do, remember this MyNBA courtside report is about NBA 2K25 on New Gen, which is for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. If we bounce over to the webpage, you can see that this webpage blog and the video you just watched will be on the NBA 2K website very shortly, and we will put the link in the chat at the end of the show. Stacks, want to take us through it?
Yes, sir. Let's do this thing, baby. Let's go. What do we got here? Is it supposed to come up on the screen?
There we go.
All right, there we go. So, wait.
I think let's start with MyGM. For a refresher, because not everybody's played MyGM before. It hasn't been on the new gen version of NBA 2K in the last couple of years. So if you're newer in the game and you weren't familiar with what Jeff was talking about, in MyGM, as its name sounds, you're playing as the general manager of one of the NBA teams. And with that comes a lot of the things you might expect, like the relationships you have to juggle with your players, your coaching staff, and of course, your team's governor, which you saw a little peek of in that video, and we'll get to in a little bit. But the first step of every GM story is to pick a backstory. And like any RPG, you get to customize your player, and we have a few options for you, or you can create your own. And this first step is important because this is what determines your initial attributes, which in turn determines your baseline boosts and play styles. So you saw this real quick in the video. Let's go through each one a little more slowly so that you can see the full details. But first up, we've got the X-Player. This is somebody who's retired and is now transitioning into the front office, which is something we're seeing a lot more of in the real life NBA. So with this backstory, you'll see the offensive coaching and defensive coaching attributes start strong, which improves your team's offensive and defensive attributes on the court. You'll also notice each of these backstories has a starter perk on that bottom row. This one's his former player, but we'll get to that in a second. Next, we've got the X-Scout. This is somebody who's got an eye for talent. You'll see the analytics attribute starts higher, and that attribute improves your team's scouting abilities. Then we've got the Quant, who's got a lot of financial savvy. And with this backstory, your business and analytics attributes are both pretty good. We just talked about how analytics improves your team's scouting, and the business attribute improves your team's attendance at games. Maybe you want to be a capitalist who's got deep connections. In this one, your business attribute is strong, and so is your charisma. Charisma is an important one here because this affects trades, contract negotiations, team morale, and unlocks a lot of conversation options. If you want to be knowledgeable in the art of the deal, you'll go with the Closer backstory. This one has the highest starting charisma attribute. You can see it's got 2.5 stars there, and that's really going to help you close deals and get the one up on your counterparts when you're negotiating. Last but not least, if none of those fit what you want, you could customize your own. The one attribute we didn't talk about is sports medicine, which improves your team's training and reduces the impact of fatigue and injuries. I don't think, at least in my memory, I don't think we ever had a doctor be the GM of an NBA team, but you know what? You could be the first. Make a custom GM. You could be the first sports medicine focused GM in the league. Now, with that said, Stacks, which one of these are you going to go with? We're going to walk everybody through your first GM path now.
See, Evan, since I'm not an ex-player, also not an ex-scout, not a quant capitalist, I think it's only right that your boy be an expert in the art of the deal and become a closer as a GM. I think that fits me well, man. I think I could get down to that negotiation table and make things happen. Mm-hmm.
I could see that. I could see that in real life. You went with a very realistic choice there, and I could see it. But as Jeff mentioned, with each one comes with perks. And perks are these unique abilities that boost different areas of your skills, and there are ones for both on and off the court. So when you're creating your GM, you'll be asked to pick 1 to 2 perks, and then you earn more as you level up. Now, each backstory also starts off with the unique perk already equipped. So since Stacks picked Closer, he'll be getting the Well-Connected perk, which makes opposing GMs more likely to make favorable trades. And at various different levels as you level up, you'll be able to pick a new perk. And once you hit the level cap of 20, you get 2 additional perks. Jeff also pointed out level 12 is an important one that you can see on this graphic because that's when you get your backstory's exclusive perk. So for you, Stacks, you'll be getting the Puppet Master perk at level 12, which makes opposing GMs occasionally come to you with incredibly favorable trades to you. As promised, we also have a full list of perks. There's 55 to choose from when NBA 2K25 comes out, and the team does plan to add more throughout the year. Stacks,
Oh my.
of this whole list, do you have a favorite one?
I think I have a good eye for talent. Even though I'm not an expert, I have a good eye for talent. So I would probably go with anthropologist. And then, I like hard-nosed basketball. So I probably would go intense trainer. Yeah, I like those two.
I like those as well. I think my favorite here has got to be chat connoisseur, because that increases the number of chat points you have by 4. So speaking of chat points, Jeff also talked about how the goals and conversations in MyGM have been improved this year. As the GM, everyone wants something from you, and it's up to you to manage all their needs. And in the past, when we had MyGM, we saw feedback from the community that those conversations were too frequent and could become overwhelming with constant new requests to chat. So in NBA 2K25, we are focusing on a smaller number of impactful conversations. And another cool thing that's new this year that was briefly in the video is the MyGM building. This is a free roaming space where you can have conversations with the various people on your staff. So you get a notification when somebody wants to talk, it'll pop up on your calendar, and then you'll go into the building and you can walk up to your governor, your head coach, your chief financial officer, and other people like that, and you can have a conversation with them. So we can see here our friend Pete is about to have a chat with his team's governor, and that brings us to this conversation. And you'll see the governor wants to set a goal for Pete to win as many titles as possible. And GM Pete is given 4 choices to respond. He can say, yep, I'll do it. I'm winning three rings in 3 years. But we all know how hard that is, so Pete might not want to say that. Option 2 is Pete can decline. He says he doesn't want to promise something he can't deliver, and that's a good answer, but not when your governor has some pretty high expectations of you. Then you'll see the next 2 options require a certain attribute. So with a 5 offensive coaching attribute, Pete can say, we'll make the finals at least once these 3 years and probably win 1 or 2, a more reasonable expectation. Or with a 4 in charisma, Pete can sweet talk the owner down and set a much more realistic goal for the team. At each of these conversations that pop up in your MyGM story, it is really up to you how you approach them with the options you have available to you based on your backstory and attributes to pick a unique path and how you play MyGM. And that's kind of the fun part for all of us. So Stacks, in this conversation, which of these 4 choices would you pick if you were in Pete's shoes?
I mean, Evan, if you are as good as a GM as I am, of course you're going to go all the way, make the commitment to the governor that you're going to win 3 rings in 3 years. I think we're going to create a dynasty wherever I decide to be the GM at.
Stacks, I wish you the best. Good luck. I don't know if you're going to three-peat that easily. 3 rings in 3 years. That very rarely ever happens in history. But you know what? It is your story, so you can pick what you want. Now, we do want to say one more thing about MyGM. It is a ranked mode. So the goal of this mode is to compete with the community to see who can complete the different goals you get, earn XP, and hit level 20 the fastest. But that's not as easy as it sounds. And if you are not doing a good job and you really make your governor unhappy, you might get fired, and then you're going to see a game over screen. After that, you can try again with a new MyGM build or a new team and see if you can do better the next time. But that's kind of how MyGM works.
I got a little nervous when you said that, Evan. I ain't gonna lie. Maybe can I go back and change my answer?
Win 3 rings, and then you don't, and your GM's not happy with you. You might be getting fired, Stacks. Just saying.
Let me change my answer next time. We're gonna run that back. Anyway, MyGM sounds great. Now it's time to talk about MyNBA a little bit. Everyone's been asking what the new era would be. We already heard from the homie Jeff. That is going to be the Steph Curry era, which I am super excited about, man. Steph Curry been going crazy lately, balling out of control. So I'm happy to say that he has his own era, you know what I'm saying, coming to MyNBA. It's going to be amazing.
I gotta say, I'm excited to look. I love Steph, right? I love Steph, but I am excited to go back here, get on that LeBron and Kyrie and Cavs team. I'll bump up their attributes if I have to. I'm just gonna make sure they win that championship they didn't win that year. It was not a fair matchup, so I'm gonna go back, make it fair, and make sure they beat KD, Steph, and the Warriors in that year. But Stacks, what would you change in history if you got to go back in time?
Listen, I wouldn't change a thing. You understand me? The only thing I would change is the 3-1 lead blown by the Warriors. I'll make sure they get that ring and then beat LeBron again and then beat LeBron again and beat LeBron again, man. I'll make sure LeBron never beats them. I think that's what I would do.
Yes, indeed. All right, we do have a couple more things to share about MyNBA. You heard Jeff talk about the improved league expansion and contraction and the better integration of the NBA Cup, but we did ask Jeff and the dev team for 2 more fun notes for the blog that we'll take you through now. One of them is the League News tab in MyNBA Eras. So for those of you who haven't played in the historical eras before, your League News rewinds you with you and changes over time to represent what it was like in each era. So by going back all the way into the most historical eras, this was a newspaper. Then that becomes a Web 1.0 web page for the start of the internet, and then finally becomes the modern day social media feed. This year in NBA 2K25, the dev team added a new Web 2.0 page for the late 2000s to represent the gap between when the internet first started and modern day social media. And they've actually made the design of this menu inspired by how NBA 2K's game menus looked back in NBA 2K11. So we don't have a screenshot of that right now, but it's pretty cool and you will see it pretty soon. Another thing is streamlined My Staff management. So in MyNBA, you can of course manage all the staff around you, like the coaching staff, medical staff, etc. And previously, there were 17 staff positions surrounding you, which we noticed could be overwhelming for some players. So this year, we've simplified that from 17 to just 7 key departments under your chief financial officer, your head coach, your head scout, and a few other departments. And instead of managing all the staff within these departments, you can now hire bonus staff and allocate them to each department as you need. This really simplifies the process so that you can keep the staffing element of your team building if you want, but aren't being overwhelmed with these decisions about who to hire and fire all the time. With that said, I think that wraps it up for MyNBA, Stacks.
Yeah, man. Can't wait to play MyNBA and MyGM. You see your boys already ready. As soon as I hop in, I'm going to throw the suit back on and really immerse myself in that GM lifestyle, man. Evan, it's going to be crazy. But make sure y'all go and check out the Courtside Report blog yourself and read it through, just in case you want a little bit more detail on some of the things that we spoke about today, or you just want to catch up on some of the stuff we didn't get to go over today. Also, let's talk about this roadmap, man. As you already know, August 1st, we already talked about gameplay with Pro Play. The week of August 5th, we talked about the My Player and My Career. All right, we went over that. And now this week, we talked about MyNBA, but later on in the week, we have another stream. We're going to be discussing the W, which I'm also really excited to talk about. I seen some people asking about my team in the chat. Don't worry, that news is coming the week of August 19th. And I seen some people want to know something about the city as well. And that news is coming the week of August 26th. Okay. The week of September 2nd, we got season 1 in 2K Beats. And don't forget, September 4th is early tip off if you pre-order. So make sure you get those pre-orders in. And then September 6th is the official launch. And make sure you guys pay attention to week of. That's very important. Week of, not day of, but week of. All right. So, just keep that in mind.
Yep. And also, Stacks, I think I saw a rating starting to come out, didn't I?
Yes, sir. Yes. The official rating started to drop. Okay, there's been a lot of stuff going on out here in these streets, but don't worry, the official ratings is starting to drop, and I would love to see what you guys think about it.
Yep, keep an eye on our social channels. Don't fall for fake posts. The official ratings have just started dropping. So NBA 2K on X, Twitter, Instagram, all that. Make sure you stay tuned, and you will stay up to date on all the new player ratings. But as Stacks mentioned, we've got early tip-off. I saw somebody ask in the chat, which edition do I have to get early tip-off? And it is with all 4 of the editions of the game. Doesn't matter which one you get. As long as you get NBA 2K25 before September 6th, you can play up to 2 days early on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X and S, and Xbox One, and PC. Now, a Twitch Drops reminder. I see so many people are saying you're almost done here. If you just completed your 90 minutes across last Thursday and today's Road to NBA 2K25 streams, you should get a notification that takes you to your Twitch inventory. And once you're in your Twitch inventory, make sure you claim your reward there. Once you do, you'll be taken to a website. It's nba.2k.com/twitch-drops. You're going to go to that website. It's got 3 steps to lay this all out for you. And you want to click the login to Twitch button. That's going to take you to a page to log into your Twitch, which you should already be logged in, but just in case you're not, put your username and password, make sure you log in, and that's going to connect our NBA 2K Drops portal with Twitch so that they can let us know that you've watched 90 minutes. You'll be redirected back to the website, and you're going to see the locker code you've earned take the place of that login to Twitch button that you just clicked. So again, we're going to put the link in the chat to this website, but it's nba.2k.com/twitch-drops. Make sure you click a claim in your Twitch inventory before you go there, then log in with Twitch. That's all I got, Stacks. Anything else?
No, that's gonna be just about it. Like I said, man, super excited for MyGM and MyNBA. Early tip-off, September 4th is a huge W. I'm looking forward to it. Evan, you already know I'm gonna be out there. I'm being all modes, my team, my career, my NBA. And now your boy's gonna take that GM role. But we appreciate you guys for coming through to the stream today. Don't forget, we have another one coming later this week. So make sure you guys are there for that one as well. The roadmap shows you guys the kind of the dates or time frame and when the other news is coming as well. So make sure you stay up to date with that. But with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. We're gonna raise somebody, so make sure you stick around for that. And until later on this week, be out. Peace.
See y'all.